In Madhya Pradesh, it's the deaths of elephants that are causing concern. 7 wild elephants have been found dead in the core jungle area of the Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh. This herd was reported with 13 individuals. The entire area is now being combed for all possibilities. Medical team of wildlife health officers and wildlife veterinarians from Bandhavgarh, Sanjay and School of Wildlife Forensic and Health, Jabalpur, are treating the wild elephants in the best possible way. STSF Jabalpur and Bhopal are also at the spot for further investigations. Park managers and doctors are also seeking guidance from experts from the Wildlife Institute of India and Dehradun. Currently, the prime focus is on the treatment of the elephants that are unwell and to bring them out from danger. The actual cause of the death will only be known after post-mortem and thorough investigation and combing of the area. NDTV's Anurag sent us this report.
There's a major problem with Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve because earlier in August we did a story about the tiger deaths in Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, and that led to a massive reshuffle in the forest department, and now 7 elephants are dead. The officials from the Tiger Strike Force as well as Delhi Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, they all are there with dog squads. They are investigating the matter, but as you rightly pointed out, the sources are saying that the farmers have sprayed pesticides on their crops because day before yesterday the herd, the elephants destroyed their crops around the Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, and after that they have spread, and the forest officials are suspecting that this can be the cause. But as of now, the status is 7 dead elephants under treatment 3, fully recovered by treatment 1, and healthy and normal elephants are 2. Currently the post-mortem is being carried out by the vets at Jabalpur, the veterinary hospital in Jabalpur. Vets from Kanha and Pench have also reached there to treat the elephant, and STSF head along with the dog squad are there. They are just investigating the case. As I said, the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau has constituted a committee. A state level committee has also been formed to inquire about the deaths of these elephants, because in Madhya Pradesh we don't have elephants, but now because of that Chhattisgarh corridor, around 70 to 80 elephants are roaming in that particular area. So it's a matter of concern that how 7 elephants from that herd are dead now.
All right, to talk more about this, we're now joined by Dr. Anish Andheria, CEO, Wildlife Conservation Trust. And very, very concerning and alarming news, as Anurag said there. This was a herd that had come in from Chhattisgarh several years ago and were therefore very precious. And now to have 7 elephants dead, we still don't know the reason, but it is being suspected that it could be pesticides.
It's very alarming and extremely saddening. And in fact, people like us who have been monitoring elephant populations through media and a lot of other research, we know that these elephants were living a charmed life actually. If you know how they've landed in Madhya Pradesh, there were no elephants in Madhya Pradesh for the last 100 years. In fact, there were no elephants in Chhattisgarh either. So these are herds that have been driven by people because the forest in Odisha, in Jharkhand, in Bihar, they've got destroyed, and those elephants have obviously gone into raiding crops because there was not enough food there, and then from there they were pushed into Chhattisgarh. They had no clue about elephants, and they eventually went to Madhya Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh has actually given refuge to them. So in Bandhavgarh, these 70, 80 elephants that we're talking about are elephants who have been pushed by people from 3 states. So, and then to die in a park which has actually gifted them a second life is extremely saddening. And I heard the report, and I've been following up because my vets are also on site right now, along with the Forest Department vet and vets from WII. There are multiple possibilities. Currently, the postmortem, as we speak, the postmortem is on. 7 are already gone, and this was the herd. See, there were, like we say, there are 80 elephants, but they are also broken into smaller herds. So this was a herd of 13 elephants. 13 elephants. So of that, 7 are gone, 3 are unwell, 1 has recovered, and 2 have not got affected. So the reasons could be multiple. One, that your reporter also hinted that there could be pesticide that have been sprayed on crops. But there is another possibility, and that we'll know, as I said, after the postmortem, and that is food poisoning from consumption of what is called kodo millet. So kodo millet is grown by villagers, and due to certain environmental conditions, from time to time, there is a fungal growth that these seeds get infected, and they then give rise to mycotoxins, and these mycotoxins can kill animals if they are consumed in large quantities. And elephants, as you know, are large. They eat 200 kgs of food every day, and so therefore they must have consumed this. This is a conjecture, and I have read several reports even back in 1935. There are notes on deaths of elephants because of consumption of millets. So it is either pesticide or this.
And this is something that obviously, as we've been saying, will be investigated, and the Wildlife Institute of India in Dehradun is also, involved in this, and a post-mortem will take place, and then perhaps we'll know clearly what's happening. But Anish, also the issue of these wildlife areas and managing the areas around them is also something that we need, the Forest Department and administration to be more mindful of. As you said, elephants often raid crops in outside of the forest area. So this is something that also needs to be managed, and in case it is pesticides that is the reason for their deaths.
Yeah, I think it's easier said than done, because
Sure.
as I told you, the history of this herd, it has been pushed by hundreds and thousands of farmers from 3 states, and they have crossed Chhattisgarh and entered Madhya Pradesh. So there are thousands of elephants there, and they are still running helter-skelter, because obviously these animals eat a lot, and therefore they go on standing crops, and farmers are marginalized. You understand one thing, that all these tiger reserves are surrounded by villages which are very poor. Most people there have farms, but those are less than a couple of hectares. They are marginalized farmers. So if a herd of 13, this one is 13, if they enter a 1 acre standing crop, they will destroy it unintentionally overnight. And so the stress on people is there. Plus, remember that because there was no elephant in this area for century, several generations of human beings have no idea as to how to deal with elephants. It's not about Karnataka,
Right.
It's not Assam where they have grown. So what has happened is suddenly people have problems with deer, sambar, cheetal, wild pigs. On top of it, now you have an elephant, which they have no clue about. So even the Forest Department in Madhya Pradesh have sent their officers to Karnataka to understand how to deal with elephants. So I think with time, things will stabilize. I am also eagerly waiting for the reports, and hopefully this is the latter, which means the millet poisoning and not pesticide poisoning, because that sends out a wrong message. But
Right.
we should not mix this with the tiger poaching that has happened in
Sure.
Madhya Pradesh. This is clearly not a poaching incident. It is either retaliation or natural causes because of this consumption of millet.
All right. Well, waiting to find out what is the cause. Thanks so much, Dr. Anish Andheria, there joining us on this very, very sad and alarming story in which 7 elephants have died in Bandhavgarh in Madhya Pradesh.
Pleasure.